Alright guys, so basically look for anything that's red. Whatever's red means that it can move, right? So you have this red lever which is going to be able to cause a movement. I press it here and lets go of the stretcher. That's the latch that's attached to the stretcher, and it avoids the stretcher from moving when the patient or the stretcher is on the ambulance. I press the next red lever, which is the handle. I put the stretcher close to me. I look back, make sure there's no cracks on the floor, and I walk backwards. Now, the legs are automatically going to fall to the ground due to gravity. Avoid the legs from abruptly falling to the ground if you have a patient who's suffering from trauma, headache, or any type of injury. All right? So, they're going to fall down again, but try to avoid it, especially for delicate patients. Boom. Back here, you have a hook. This hook prevents the stretcher from rolling off the ambulance. So, for you to get the patient out, you gotta unhook them, right? Another thing is when you're gonna load the patient or the stretcher back inside of the ambulance, make sure, once again, that it's hooked. Because if you try to load them onto the ambulance without it being hooked, for example, right now it's not hooked, right? Check out what happens when I try to load the stretcher on without hooking it. Right? 2 fingers. If it were hooked right here, that would not have happened. So always make sure that the stretcher and the patient are hooked. You can press stop. By the way, just so you can know, I recommend that you go ahead and look at the usage instructions for every stretcher. In the ideal situation, that's what you'll do. But in a nutshell, use this video as a demonstration of how to use it after you're familiar with using it. Again, the red means that it can move, right? Notice, it's red, right? Right here, you have a red latch, which brings this down. Right? Red. That means this goes down as well. Then you have more red right here to get the patient in and out of the ambulance. And then under here, you have a red lever that allows you to move the stretcher up and down. So for example, if I need to bring it down 1 notch, what I do is I grab it here, grab here, and pick it up, and then squeeze. So I'm squeezing the lever and bring it down and let go at the level that I want to use it. So you notice it went down. If I want to bring it down more, I have to be conscious that this is here and it's going to crash. So I got to open it again. Press it again and I can bring it all the way down. Now, if you're not in shape, if you're not healthy, or you're a little bit fragile, you could literally mess up your back by doing what I'm about to do. So I encourage you to stay in shape as much as you can, right? Don't try this at home. But sometimes you have to. Like I mentioned before, this job is dynamic. Sometimes your partner's busy, you don't have anybody who's able to help you with this. The firefighters are busy, and you just gotta do it by yourself. Let's say it's a mass casualty incident, and you have to do this, right? So this is what I would do. I grab here, I put my foot there, I grab the latch, and then I lift it up. Notice I'm doing it at an angle that's not correct. Ideally, you wanna go down and lift with your knee, lift with your legs, not with your back. So this is why I say you gotta be careful when you do it that way, right? But that's pretty much how you move the stretcher. Notice also that the wheels here have a lock, so you can lock it, right? After the application of the lock, notice the stretcher has a harder time moving. And last but not least, this stretcher can also be utilized as a skateboard. right? Nah, but when they say doing CPR, for example, we just had a patient with a cardiac arrest, and what you do is you put your feet right here, and you do CPR like so, while you have somebody at the head ventilating the patient. You're doing CPR and another person at the foot guiding the stretcher, right? Now I'm gonna show you guys how to put the stretcher back in the ambulance by yourself. Ideally, you don't have to, you just wait for your partner to help you. But in the case where you have to do it by yourself, this is how you do it. Check it out. And then so the ideal posture you have when you have to maneuver a stretcher with or without a patient is you spread your legs shoulder width apart, you hold the stretcher, you go down, back straight, and come up with your legs. If for some reason you're doing it like this, you're putting unnecessary strain on your back. So to put the stretcher back inside of the ambulance by yourself, you pick it up, wait until it's hooked, confirmed hook, so it's not coming out, then grab it. By the way, the manufacturer does not recommend, and I'm sure your employer as well does not recommend that you do it like this. I'm saying, and I'm showing you how to do it in the case where you have to. Now, you pick it up, grab the latch, squeeze the red latch that I showed you earlier, and do it until the wheels collapse while it's hooked to the ambulance. Right? Then, I grab it right here, and I pick it up like so, with the same posture that I showed you earlier. And then I guide it towards the back until the latch, where it was latched prior. And there you go. Now, to confirm the placement, it ain't going anywhere. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Peace.